sounds like that it's very metaphysics of some sort, but can you explain to the audience what inspired the name or the teachings?
Well, that part I can't go into just yet because it is part of a series. The Beguileon teaching is just the first release, but there are many manuscripts associated with that name, and one of them will explain, or should I say one of the releases will explain exactly what that name is, where it comes from, and it is so controversial that to try to discuss it without that information to back it up, I think would be more confusing than anything else.
Right. So does it have anything to do with the modern church? And do you have to have a certain faith in order to understand these teachings?
Well, it's definitely rooted in let's say it runs parallel to the modern church. I wouldn't say it's rooted in the modern church, but it runs parallel. And again, if you're not a person of faith, much of what you will find concerning the Beguileon teaching and the manuscripts that will follow will be stuff that it will be over your head, or it will be so unbelievable that you'll disregard it. But if you're a person of faith, you've already experienced the supernatural, or you already have an awareness of the spiritual. So you'll be able to identify the information as being worthy of consideration. And then, it'll be left up to the person reading to, decide whether or not they find any validity in what's being shared, or they'll dismiss it.
Wow, that's powerful in itself. So can you tell the listeners out here, how can they get a copy of this book?
Well, you can Google the name. If you Google the Beguileon teaching, it should come up, or you can visit the website, Beguileon.com, and there should be links there on where to get the book. It's also good to go there because the book itself, there's information that's going to be shared, over the next year or so from the book. I guess you would call it some origin information, or going into more detail about certain things that are in this first release. But it will share information regarding the other manuscripts and things that are going to be happening in association with this release in general. And when I say the release, I don't mean just the book, not just this first book, but keeping in mind that the Beguileon teaching